over slavery. Yes, we are co-joined in our concerns for future abolition and emancipation of this practice. He was, in fact, he admitted himself, madam, at the time we were discussing who would take pen to prescribe our declaration, that he should not be the one. And he thought he was capable, but he said no. He said because he felt he was generally considered obnoxious and disliked, and well, because of his continuous protests. But he was a point, madam, I may say, that was wont to bring, gradually, bring a cohesion and bring a unity amongst us all. I don't know what we would have done without him. He said that for him in his youth, it was the protest of his cousin, Samuel Adams. Well, at the same time, I could relate to his experience, because for me, here in Williamsburg, it was the very same protest that I observed from Colonel Henry that was wont to be of inspiration to me. In fact, back in May of '65, when I had the opportunity to observe Henry's protest against the Stamp Act, I confided to my commonplace that evening here in town that this day I heard Patrick Henry speak just as Homer wrote, and he has supplied a great impetus to the ball of revolution. So again, I think all of this, remarkably, happening at the same time, was being taken up by the citizenry and applied at the same time to seek a vent for the preservation of our liberties and our privileges. I have maybe two other questions, three other questions very quickly, if I can. This gentleman, this person, and the gentleman yonder. Yes.
What would be your greatest concern now? Would it be internal among the 13?
My greatest concern at present?
Yes, about this, all the next steps.
Sir, my greatest concern remains what has been the greatest concern throughout the history of mankind, continually recognized by those of great enlightenment, and that concern remains ignorance. Ignorance. We cannot suffer with this responsibility now on our shoulders to be responsible for our government. We cannot suffer to be unknowing, or to deny or escape or evade an education and an enlightenment. For one, I will not forget when the Declaration, printed up in Philadelphia like a broadside out of a newspaper, about 300 copies, was handed out to citizenry on the streets that morning of July the 5th. The number who once handed the Declaration gazed upon it curiously, shrugged their shoulders, and tossed it into the gutter. Not because they were Tory, simply because they could not. Now, fortunately, the Declaration is written in order to be read. It follows a dramatic cadence. It was purposely engaged that way in order to lift the human spirit to noble sentiments, to recognize how self-government rests in the individual to take charge of themselves and of their fellow citizens.